I want to change it like this kind of series, by the way, with you. Like you will tell me exactly what you prefer and stuff. But my plan was um not to do it like Tuesday. That is like really you need to keep up. Here is like to talk about I think in every yeshiva, in every place they talk about Elul and like what is the meaning of Elul, what is Tshuva, what is Rosh Hashanah, about the customs, about everything. And I hope to make it much, much easier than like Tuesday class. So let's start. Um, Elul in Israel, where I came from, like I don't know, in the yeshivot and stuff, it is a very, very, very important month, and you can feel it. Meaning, we have the vacations time, like we have the how do you say, like till now is the time of like the summer in Israel. I think also in Canada. But in a religious place, after Elul start, nobody goes for vacation. Like this is the time when you go to the yeshiva, everyone is learning, nobody goes out. Like it's like really time of learning, time of Chazara B'Tshuva, time of Elul, it's called. So it starts even from the name of the month. Like Elul, that this month before Rosh Hashanah called Elul, and even the name of the months, some say that some say that the translation of the word Elul, some say from Aramaic alal, is means to search, meaning that the idea of Elul is for us to search after our deeds to know if we did good or not and what we want to change and so on. Okay. The Ari Kadosh, I think he is really famous. Ari Kadosh, somebody knows me. You heard about him? Ari, Ari Kadosh. Ari Kadosh, I think he is the famous. He is the famous, even I can say, biggest mekubal. Most of the tefillot that we are doing is goes followed by him. Like even the halachot of the tefillot in most of the things. Um, I think there is a famous mikveh called a mikveh Ari in Tzfat. I think people that goes to Israel, like going to this area in Tzfat, you have mikveh Ari. It's called. You have like I don't know. There is the cemetery of it, and So I think he brought up the famous acronym of Elul. He said Elul is like Aleph Lamed Vav Lamed. So he said Elul means Ani ledodi vedodi li, meaning in Hebrew. You heard it, what?
I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine.
100%. And he said that this is what Elul means. Elul means that this is the time that Hashem is closest to us as a love. I like the translation. Without of you, it would be very hard for me because Dod is an uncle and it can be also love, like the person I love. You like in Old Hebrew and some even Yamanis today they use it. You say Dod for every person that you want to show respect. You know what I mean? So it really helped me, by the way. And some also say that Elul means "Umal Hashem Elohecha et levavecha ve'et levav zarech." Et levavecha ve'et levav ve'et levav. It's also acronym of Elul, and this is another way of tshuva. Umal Hashem Elohecha et levavecha ve'et levav zarecha. Most the interpreter understood that Hashem will help us to cut the bad places in our heart, or I try to translate like that. And this is also like this is the time that Hashem is close to us, time that we are trying to look for our deed. It's even the word Elul, Alal in Aramaic. This is the translation, and um, so on. So what we are doing in Elul, okay? So first of all, Elul start 30 days before Rosh Hashanah, 40 days before Yom Kippur. right? In every month, Moshe Rabbeinu said that we should learn the ideas of the month and the halachot of the, sorry, not the month, and every holiday as Pesach and Sukkot and Shavuot, we should learn before the halachot, the ideas, everything about the holiday that's coming. Okay, so in Pesach, after Purim, we're starting to learn about Pesach things. There is many halachot in Sukkot too. But the idea of that, the idea of doing the slichot and so on, is to say that also before Rosh Hashanah, we also starting to learn, to talk, to do stuff about a month before the holiday. So Elul is the all months before the holiday of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippurim, right? So the Sfaradim are, what's the custom of Sfaradim? Everyone, I think, I know. The Sfaradim are starting Slichot from the beginning of Elul, like the day after Rosh Chodesh, from Bet of Elul. Sfaradim start Slichot. The Ashkenazim, they're blowing the shofar every day morning after Shacharit, from the beginning of Elul, and they are starting Slichot on the week before Rosh Hashanah till Yom Kippur every day. I think their Slichot is much harder in my how I see it. So they do it less, but in my view, it's much harder. This is customs of Elul, and we also some doing Mizmorei Teilim, and there is Mizmor Teilim Kaf Zayin. People adding stuff in Elul, for Tshuva and Maasim Tovim. But the great idea, the great important thing of Elul is basically doing Tshuva. In Yeshivot, many are learning Sha'aret Tshuva LeRabbeinu Yonah, is a book of one of the rabbis, like I think 700 or 800 years ago. I don't remember exactly where he lives, like when he lives. And all the book talks about the level of tshuva. The Rambam also brought down like few chapters of like how we doing tshuva. In really short, there is a difference of understanding. Like, let's try to understand what it means tshuva. So the word tshuva means lashuv, lehashiv, to change, to become back to something good or something like that. And Rabbeinu Yonah brought an idea. Rabbeinu Yonah want to say that when we want to become Baal Tshuva, when we want to be back good, you don't need to be 100% perfect, because most of the time it's even really, really, really hard. Rabbeinu Yonah said we need to be like back on the path, or to try to know like what is our goals and where we are going to. Even if we are not perfect, it is enough right now, and it's considered a person he is in tshuva. Meaning, if a person he is on the way, is good. And I think Reb Chaim Kanievsky was saying that somebody asked him, it's very hard for me not to do, to smoke cigarette on Shabbat, and we're not allowed to smoke cigarettes Shabbat. And he asked him like, what should I do? And Reb Chaim told him, how many cigarettes you smoke in every Shabbat? So he told him like around 40. He was like a heavy smoker. I think it's like 2 packets or something like that. Yeah. And it's just reminded me that once I was learning in some rabbi place, I did a course of, and I'm hating the smell of cigarettes. And they were like, it was a closed room in Yerushalayim, and they were like smoking, how to say, shalsheret, like they were lighting the
Chain
second one with
smoking.
the last. What?
Chain smoking.
Yeah, it was terrible for me. But for people that got used to it, or addicted to it, you should call it whatever you like, it's very hard for them. So he tried to keep Shabbat. He started, but he said it's very, very, very hard for me not to smoke. So Chaim Kanievsky told him, so now you smoke 40, so start to do 39, 38, 35, whenever you can. And he told them, but let's say I passed away after that Shabbat. That is considered that I did tshuva, or it's considered that I'm not, because I still was Mechalel Shabbat. So Reb Chaim told them that, and this is basically the idea of Rabbeinu Yonah, that if you start your way. We are human. We never can change from anything to anything, like from black to white and white to black. It doesn't work like that. So if you start your way, you have your goal. You want to keep Shabbat, for example. He told them, this is your goal, right? Your start. It's hard for you, and instead of smoke this amount, you will smoke less, and you try slowly, slowly, slowly to get to your goals. So basically, you on the path to Hashem, so it's considered like you did tshuva now because you change your way to a good way, even if you're not at the end. This is the chidush of Rabbeinu Yonah. There is a story I sat in Israel. I really like it that you can, I just came from Yerushalayim to Elad, and most of them were Orthodox, and I think not most of them, I think 100% of them on the bus. It was from religious area, I can say, to where my parents from, like where my parents lives. And I just sat nearby a Hasidic guy, and I asked him, "Do you have a few ideas of Elul? What they're saying in your community about Elul?" So he told me and he told me another few nice things. He told me that they have it's not famous, I think. I never heard it. I will say the truth. But he said that in their place it's famous. He said that the Baal Shem Tov said the Baal Shem Tov is famous. The Baal Shem Tov is like he made, I can say, the Chassidut. After the Baal Shem Tov, they become like many kinds of Chassidut, but he brought the idea of what's called Chassidut. And he said that once he was out in the fields and he heard, how do you say, Ikarim, like two people, the people that work on the fields.
Farmers.
Farmers, thank you very much. He heard two farmers that saying that in that month, the months that you need to plant all the things, if you will not work hard on that month, you will lose at the end all the money, all years, all the year, right? So the Baal Shem Tov heard it and he really liked it, and he said, "This is exactly what Elul is. Elul is the time that even if we did stuff for the year, an all year, Hashem gave us a month to show that we are trying to do tshuva, we are trying to go back to the path, and even if we did something not good, Hashem will forgive us if we ask for forgiveness and if we're trying to change our ways." And he said, this is a month that if a person will miss that month, he basically will miss all the year spirituality, right? I saw today a nice what? There is a nice not story. Do you call it parable? Parable? How do you say it? Mashal.
Parable. Parable.
Parable. Thank you very much. So there is a really nice parable. I like it. Of it goes like that. Once was a very poor person. He just walk on this like on the beach, thinking, on his life and how he will make money and what he should do and so on. And he walked on the beach and he saw somebody tovea, a guy, a child, a person that trying to swim, trying to go out from the water, but he didn't succeed. How to say it? Like sinking?
Drowning.
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 Thank you very much. He saw a person that's drowning, and just a second, it's bothering me something that here with the computer. I'm trying to. We'll change it. Yeah. So he saw somebody that drowning. Yeah, right. And he jumped in, tried to save him. At the end, he succeeded to save him. He take him out. He tried to talk with them, and he tell them, "Oh, like he said, it's a child," and tell him, "Where is your parents' house? Where you live? I will take you. I will help you." Like and so on. And the child told him, I am the son of the king. So they went back to the palace, and all the workers, the slaves, or I don't know how to say it, of the king that looked for the child that, I don't know, just run away to somewhere. And the king told him, "You saved my child. I need to thank you, and thank you very much," and so on and so on. And he told him, "I want to give you I want to give you a really huge present." So he told them, I want to give you the ability to go to my chargers. How do you say it?
Treasure.
Yeah, I want to give you the ability to go to my treasure room, and you have an hour, and you can take whenever you want. So the guy was so happy. He knew that till now he was the poorest person in the city, and now he will become the richest, because if he will have an hour in the treasure room of the king, he can take everything he wants, and in every minute he can take like millions. Okay, so even in his society, right after that story, even before the king let him the opportunity really to go into the room, people start to treat him as the richest person, and they try to become friend of him, and he all his life basically changed. He had plans, what I will take, what I will do, how much I will become rich after, and everything. And the king, he understood his mistake. He said to himself, okay, I was very, very happy and very, very excited at the time that I understood that he saved my kid. But what I will do now, if I really will give him an hour at a treasure place, in hour, he can take almost everything. What I will do with that? So we called to all his yuatzim, all the people that he get advice from all the time, and he asked him, what should I do? Like, in one hand, to tell him to change my mind and to tell him, look, even though I told you that you can go in for an hour, and now to tell him that he can't, it's really not nice. It's to show that I am not, not a good person, and I don't want to. And on the other hand, I don't want him to really take an hour of things from my treasure place. So one of the people told them, look, I have a good idea, but you just need a few $1,000s for that, and you will get the solution. So all the workers, the FBI, the Mossad of that king, they try to understand, try to get a profile on that guy. They try to understand what he liked to eat, what he liked to drink, what he liked to listen to, which kind of couches exactly he liked, and which kind of art he like. They try to learn and to understand everything about the person. And when the day come, the person entered the room, and instead of seeing treasures, he smelled like an amazing smells of food and stuff. And he said to himself, maybe I will eat a little bit, and after I will eat, I will have more power to work this hour and going back and forth, and taking out all the treasures I had to take. So maybe I just will taste it. So he sat down, started to taste from the food, and for him, it's the first time in his life when he tastes such of an amazing food. He ate, and after that, he said to himself, "No, now I need to rush to go to take stuff." And one of the workers came to him with another amazing food, and like second, and he just chased a little bit and tasted a little bit and tasted a little bit. And after that, he just tried to walk away, and he saw that there is the most expensive alcohol ever. He said to himself, after you eat meat and stuff, it will be good if I will drink just a little bit. Just a little bit. I will drink. It will take my food down, and I will have the power to take stuff. Drank a little bit, fall asleep a little bit, and he wakes up, he realized he just have a little bit of time. He run in, he took a little bit of stuff, he become rich, but not at all what he wanted. And this parable tried to show us exactly our life. We are believers. Like if a person is not believing, that is a different story. But we are believers that Hashem create the world to give us an opportunity to do good stuff, and after that Hashem will give us the sachar, like what we should get at the next word or the word to come, whatever you call it. But at the other hand, we have the Yetzer Hara, we have our things we want to do, that sometimes they're good, but it takes time from our time of doing good stuff. Okay? So Elul is basically time for us to learn to read books, to listen to shiurim that are trying to remind us why we came to our world, what we need to do with our life, even though that we know it. Every year, we need to remind ourselves that we will not be as the person that he went to the treasure place, but instead of using all his time and to become the richest person in the city, he just used a little bit. So by trying to use more. I will finish in 2 minutes. And there is a book called Mesilat Yesharim. Mesilat Yesharim is one of the famous books of Musar, and he said in his beginning, I'm not trying to tell you new things, because those kind of things we all know. We have Elul every year, and we have Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur every year. We should know the stuff already. But the idea of tshuva, the idea of Elul, is to try to get back to it and to remember, because as human beings, we all the time forget. So Bezrat Hashem, shenizkeh, to think, to go back to the path of Hashem, Bezrat Hashem. And every year we'll see how our spirituality levels go up and up and up and up, and we are closer to our goal, Bezrat Hashem. And if somebody have any recommendation of things you want to hear about and ideas for the next year, you can send me after that privately or any way you want. See you, Bezrat Hashem. Shabbat, Shalom, Umevorach from Eretz Israel.